Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that really gets under your skin. We're looking at a collection of true stories that explore where our deepest, most primal fears actually come from.
So ask yourself that question. Your mind probably jumps to monsters and ghosts, right? Shadows in the dark, things that go bump in the night, the classic stuff.
But as these true accounts show, the most unsettling horror, the kind that really sticks with you, comes from having your safe spaces violated. It's that terrifying moment you realize the danger is way, way closer than you ever imagined.
Okay, so let's start with stories about that primal fear of being watched. You know, that creepy feeling of an unknown person invading your personal sanctuary when you think you're safe?
I want you to just try and imagine this for a second. You come home, your door's unlocked, your place is a mess, but nothing's actually stolen. The very next day, you look out your window and see a man who looks exactly like you, just staring. The terror ramps up when you confront this double on your stairs, and he bolts, only for you to walk inside and find your walls plastered with photos of you and your girlfriend, photos that were taken just hours before. This isn't just a break-in, it's a complete psychological invasion.
And this is the part that just makes it all the more chilling. This confirms it wasn't some supernatural thing or a bizarre coincidence. The police actually found a wig and eyeglasses where the guy ran off. This was a deliberate, terrifying impersonation. Someone was actively studying him, trying to become him for reasons he'll probably never understand.
Now, for a totally different kind of home invasion. This one starts with a single bizarre detail, a lipstick print on the outside of a door. This isn't about breaking in. It's about slowly, methodically chipping away at your sense of security. The horror here builds so slowly. It starts as this weird, maybe funny thing, a lipstick print on a door, but it keeps happening. Logic starts to break down. You blame your tall friend, but it can't be her. Distrust starts to poison the friendship. And then comes the final chilling moment when the print shows up again while your friend is over 1,000 miles away. And that's when you know. Some stranger, some phantom is getting onto your porch night after night, leaving these creepy little messages.
But what about when the monster isn't some stranger lurking in the shadows? As we're about to see, the most terrifying stories are often about the people we already trust, the ones we've already let inside.
Let's look at this story about a young woman home alone for the summer in what she thought was the safest place in the world, her childhood home. And her neighbor, Mr. Hustler, he was just part of the scenery, that harmless, friendly guy she'd known her entire life.
She starts noticing little things out of place, a pool cover moved, a chair not quite where it should be. Her suspicion grows, and she sets up a camera, and what she captures, it's the stuff of nightmares. It's Mr. Hustler, her lifelong neighbor, crawling under her fence in the middle of the night to just sit by her pool for 38 minutes, just watching.
And when the police finally investigate, they find something way more disturbing than just trespassing. Hidden inside the fence itself is a purpose-built box, and inside, not just photos, but 2 notebooks filled with his observations.
This is the detail that turns a creepy story into pure horror. Those notebooks revealed a meticulous, long-term obsession. His secret surveillance didn't just start that summer. No, it went back at least 7 years, all the way back to when she was only 14 years old.
And this quote just brilliantly illustrates the core terror of it all, the complete disconnect between the kind, familiar neighbor who brings a dish to a party and the obsessive stalker he truly was. That casserole becomes a symbol of that terrifying duality.
And this kind of contrast is terrifyingly common. Here, a narrator describes her ex-boyfriend, Nate. On the surface, he seemed to have totally turned his life around. He was sweet, responsible, a real stand-up guy. But that was all a mask, hiding a deeply violent and predatory nature underneath. And that stand-up guy persona, it completely dissolved the second he faced rejection. The unraveling was immediate and violent. He tried to use a key he'd secretly copied. Then he left a blood-splattered painting on her porch as a threat. And then he threw a bullet at her window. The monster was revealed in full force.
So what's the common thread here? What connects all of these terrifying real-life encounters, from the phantom watchers to the monsters we thought we knew? It almost always comes down to this one simple feeling. In so many of these accounts, a gut feeling, that deep, primal sense of heebie-jeebies, was the first and most important line of defense.
And these stories highlight just how critical it is to trust that internal alarm system. It's that nagging suspicion that Nate had copied a key that made his ex install extra chain locks. It's the instinct that told a 15-year-old girl to just bolt for a neighbor's door. It's that feeling we get even when we can't logically explain why it's going off.
And really, the final takeaway here is a deeply unsettling one. These accounts force us to confront a terrifying possibility that the greatest dangers we face might not be from strangers in the dark, but from the people we've already welcomed into the light. It leaves all of us to question, how well do we truly know the people standing